Welcome to the Pirate Broadcast, where we interview interesting people doing interesting things, where you can expand your connections, your community. Kindness is cool and smiles are free. And let's get this party started. And it's a beautiful day for the Pirate Broadcast. Interesting people doing interesting things. And today, we have something near and dear to my heart. Someone that creates wine for a living, and I like wine. She likes wine. We're going to talk a little bit about wine and also the journey that got to where she is today. Marisa, how are you today?
I am fantastic. How are you?
Oh, I'm very well. Thank you for asking. And I have to say thank you, all the gratitude in the world for you being here. Thank you so much for everyone that has joined the Pirate Broadcast and the community. If you're not connected, reach out, tell them Russ sent you, and so she'll know that you're a pirate and you're in the community. So you're officially a pirate now. So you're a pirate winery.
All right. Better get my eye patch.
So let's go back a little ways. Now tell us exactly, for those that aren't familiar with who you are. You have a couple of wines that are available. Give us a breakdown and then tell us what you do. You're the CEO of this winery, and you're putting out some great product. I love the brands. I love Purple Rain. That I want to dig into that a little bit. So okay. That's a fun brand. And then is it the RedHead?
Yes.
Yeah. So what other talk a little bit about the winery itself and what you're doing with this, and then we'll work backwards a little bit.
Sure. So right now, my fiance and I, Evan Schumann, recently acquired my family's winery. It's called Luva Bella, about 2.5-3 months ago. So it's fairly fresh, but long history with having this decision come to fruition. I'm a third-generation winemaker. I went to school for wine at Cornell University. I also worked at E&J Gallo Winery for about a year and a half out in California. But Evan has a long history of manufacturing. He's actually a fifth generation of a family business out in Cleveland called I. Schumann. It's the largest metal refinery in the country, actually. So growing up, he had a lot of experience with that, but he didn't really want to go into the family business. He wanted to make something of his own. So he started his own company called Zytec, and then transitioned out of that to build other middle market companies. And he also had a lot of experience building startups internationally. So he had a great experience to take over the winery with my winemaking expertise. So he's actually the CEO of the winery. I'm the chief commercial officer, and I'm really working on the business development of all the brands regionally and eventually nationally. But I also control the original brand I started, which kind of got me kickstarted into the industry, called RedHead. So that's kind of the 45-second wrap up of what's going on.
Well, hats off to you and the RedHead brand and also for Purple Rain, because I was looking at those and I'm thinking that is awesome. That is fantastic. And it's not, I used to live in Seattle and go to the Spring Barrel tasting, and in Eastern Washington, and I've been down in Portland and out in the the wine country there, and I've been to Napa and tasting different wines, and it's not necessarily a simple, easy business to develop. So your experience in the winery business previously, growing up, has really got to lend itself to your success, at least a little bit, right?
Definitely. I mean, this industry is cutthroat, especially distribution and retail. So having the experience watching my family build this business, but also finding an organic interest in distribution and building brands really sparked my interest to take things to the next level. So with developing RedHead as a small brand in 2016 to now one of the fastest growing brands alongside Purple Rain in the state of Ohio. We're branching out to other states as well. So
Mhm.
we are really lucky to have the support of many communities across the state and other retailers that gave us the opportunity. Actually, Purple Rain is one of the number one SKUs in most big box retail or mom and pops. Some of the data is pretty impressive. So I'm really excited to see how fast things are moving out in the market when it's so competitive.
Oh, that's fantastic. And one of the things that I've always been curious about, because I'm not in the food industry, and you should probably connect with Randall Constant. He actually
Oh, I
has,
know him.
yeah.
Great guy.
He's probably already tracked you down. And it's just like one of the things that always fascinates me with the food industry is um, supply and demand. Because when you open up a distribution area like Meyer, like you were able to introduce the wine to Meyer, and they're a great organization that it gives you shelf space. Anytime you can get shelf space is a good thing. And I've got a few friends in the distribution arena, and you have to really fight for that shelf space. It's like, okay, I want eye level, I want right in the middle, and so the other side of that same equation is once you get that and your product starts selling, then you have to keep up with the demand. And you have to have backstock, a little bit of backstock. So you have to almost anticipate what you might sell in those locations.
Absolutely. That's my big project right now.
Okay.
With
Walk us through that.
Oh, absolutely. So I'm really lucky that I have great relationships in the market. I'm out there nearly every day, all over the state of Ohio, which is our main market right now. And I'm
Uh-huh.
able to extract data at the store level, look at other platforms to see how fast the products are moving, and of course, work with our distribution partners. So it's something that I've been able to really dial into and know per store. I know the store, I know what it looks like, I know the people. I could really envision when I'm looking at these breakouts. So when I am looking at the number I'm projecting, I can say, well, yeah, I know this is a great educated guess from all the data I've pulled because I live and breathe in that store as well, which
Yeah.
I think is a huge advantage because you can look at screens and data all day, but if you have that in-store experience, you know the name of the manager, you know the customer, it really helps. And of course, that can't be replicated as we move forward nationally, but it's
Yeah.
really going to help fine-tune things in the long run. So it's really great to have that experience. And, at the end of the day, like I said, it's an educated guess. It's still going to be um, tough to say I'm going to sell 30,000 cases in this market, but
Yeah.
I'm really going to be interested when it comes December 31st to see how accurate I was. So stay tuned.
Well, and a few key points around that is that building relationships is key to your success. Developing those relationships and knowing and understanding what their demands are for their business. And that's something a lot of people that are really into data, um, they don't explore that part of the equation as much. The intuitive nature of people will change and evolve, and I'm sure that you have seasons that wine is going to be a little more flying off the shelves, and
Mm-hmm.
then there's also we're kind of going through a time that nobody really has a lot of data on,
Sure.
with COVID and the pandemic and everything else. I don't know, maybe people are staying at home drinking more wine. I don't know.
Definitely.
Definitely. Is that the case? Is that what you're seeing, the trend?
Yeah, especially when the pandemic first hit and the shutdowns happened,
Uh-huh.
wine sales skyrocketed. But again, we want the sales to be under great circumstances. We don't want people over consuming because they're at home. We want it to be at an appropriate level, but we're definitely happy to supply the stores with their demand. And it's definitely been great to see the wine selling really well, and even open into new markets because people are requesting the wines as well. So it's really
Yeah.
worked out to support us as a growing business, especially because you just don't know how originally you didn't know how the pandemic was going to affect any business, but you're seeing some large operations closing their doors versus some prospering, and I'm grateful to
Yeah.
be on the other side of the I'm in the white here, so I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because how long has the winery been in existence?
About 15 years.
Okay. So you've been around long enough to understand what it takes to the business is seasoned. It's not, it's not a startup any longer. It's
Yep.
an established business. You have clientele and everything else. Now, what part of your business or what part of the wine is it grown on site, or is it shipped in for capacity? Do you have other vineyards that are growing grapes for you, or
Sure.
what percentage, how does that work for you?
Yeah, so with us, we buy 100% of our products from other vineyards. We do not have a vineyard. I personally think it's the best business model for us because if you start a vineyard from scratch, you don't get the fruit
Yeah.
until 5 years down the line. And you have to make sure it's
Yeah.
properly irrigated and the drainage. It can cost up to $100,000 a hectare. It is not just something you get into, plant a few vines, and everything's great. It's very expensive and there's
Yeah.
a lot of risk. So we like to support a lot of the vineyards that are already established out in California. We use a great broker to help select the best quality year over year, which gives us a huge competitive advantage. Unlike other wineries that own vineyards, if they have a bad crop, what are they going to do with it? So we're really trying to source the best quality we can every year, as well as for our Purple Rain line, we are using a lot of Concord vineyards out in Northeast, Fredonia,
Mhm.
all over the country, in Michigan, like Benton Harbor, and even in Washington. So we have a
Yeah.
lot of resources, and we know we're going to get a great product, which gives us confidence to march onward with producing our wines.
Yeah. It's not an easy business being in the wine business and being a farmer, because I mean, literally,
Do both. It's tough. It's tough.
it is tough, and it's very uh, sensitive to the weather, the seasons, and everything else. And if you're buying from other vineyards, then you have an ability to operate and scale, because
Hmm.
you can also gather up some grapes if one area is, weather is a little challenging one year. You can actually get grapes from another area. So wise move.
Absolutely.
What about the restaurant industry? Are you in restaurants as well locally there?
So, with the history of the business, we do have a small bistro. We are, at least Evan and my focus is our commercial operations. So, we do have a complete separate staff and someone that runs that
Hmm.
separately from our business. So, we are a commercial operation with a bistro associated, but it's a very separate entity for us where
Okay.
people can interact and purchase the wines, but uh, our core competency is all of our commercial operation when it comes to custom crush. We do a lot of custom crush for wine. And sorry, I should have put my phone on do not disturb. I was getting a phone call, so if
That's
it went black, I apologize. But also, we distribute to retail and bulk wine as well. So a little bit of
okay.
everything.
Oh, very cool. I was just thinking of the restaurant industry and how hard it's been
Ooh,
hit during
I think I
this,
lost
this last.
your audio here.
Are you there? Can you hear me now? You there, Marissa?
Yes, there we go. I'm gonna put my phone on do not disturb here.
Okay,
So I
perfect.
apologize.
No
Can't
worries.
find there we go. Perfect. Shouldn't be a problem now.
Yeah. So the restaurant industry has been hit really hard. So not being dependent on that is probably, you know, in your favor at this point in time, I would guess.
Absolutely.
Because if you were depending on restaurants to be able to produce results for your business, that might be a challenge.
Yeah, we absolutely understand the challenges, and that's why we separated the entity completely. So it's singly run, and something that we are really not involved in at this time.
Yeah. I don't see. And, and are you? I mean, we met on LinkedIn. So, are you also using other social media channels to meet and build relationships with organizations and stores?
Absolutely. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm also on TikTok. So I'm using all of the platforms in a very strategic manner, but also having a lot of fun too. So,
That's fantastic. Well, we should probably find out if there's some people in the room that have some questions here.
okay, that would be great.
That'd be awesome. Gabriel, good morning, fellow pirates. Angie, yeah, good morning, pirates. Mert, hello, Russ, Marissa, and fellow pirates. Greetings from Ankara, Turkey. Wow, all the way from Turkey, man. And here's Khan. Good morning, Russ and Marissa. Ahoy, pirates. And then Karen, good morning, pirates. Karen, thanks for connecting. I appreciate that. And then Kathy Spooner. Good morning, Kathy. How are you today? Do you have any questions for our guest, our new pirate in the community? Byron, good morning. Let's whine about it. Let's whine about it. Good morning, everyone, and fellow pirates. And then we have Sherry is good morning, my friend. Gabriel, thanks. I had a great conversation with Gabriel yesterday. I don't know if you've been on Gabriel's show or not. He has the Made from Scratch broadcast every evening. He does it 5 days a week as well. So great to be able to build on family legacy, renew the brand with the new family as the next generation. That's a great point, Con. And Marissa, maybe you could speak to that a little bit because if you've had a business for a while, there's a lot of things that just automatically, inherently as you go through the business. And when somebody else comes into it, it adds a new dimension. Sometimes that's productive, and sometimes that's a little bit, challenging at times. What's your experience so far with your business partner right now?
It's been great, honestly. The transition was absolutely necessary. There are a lot of organizational issues where, my parents are a mom and pop type of group, and we're really working on professionalizing things and implementing technologies that are super important to the success of the business. And for example, we're tracking inventory with a new Ventray system, and we have QR codes on all of our tanks and barrels where we can just scan it and see, how much, what capacity it's holding, what varietals there, what's the free SO2, and when is it due for bottling. So we have all of the technology at our favor, and it's really going to help organize the wine staff and, of course, our warehouse as well, because you need to know all these things that it was really on a pen and paper originally. So not only that, but really implementing all the additional accounting services and adding more people to the team. We've hired 3 people since the acquisition, so we're really excited to move forward. And everyone's been really great to work with. The culture has improved significantly, and everyone's really happy to be here. So we've had nothing but positive feedback from the team, and we foresee that continuing onward for the rest of the
That's
year.
fantastic. That's fantastic. I love to hear that kind of feedback from business owners that are emerging out of this current situation we're in. 2020 is like, okay, a lot of people can take a reset, and there's a lot of people that are using it as a reset to build and grow their business. So I'm kind of curious, what prompted your parents to get into the business in the first place? What was that story? What's the story behind that story?
Yes. So my father, it's kind of a sad story, but he really turned it around. He used to work for the Ohio Department of Transportation, and he was in his truck eating lunch in 1998. He was hit by a drunk driver that went through a red light, and he had 6 dislocated discs in his back and neck. So he was really injured, and he was earning workers' comp. And he's like, okay, I want to do something with my life, but I'm not able to do a lot of physical labor. So what he
Yeah.
did, he started selling wine that he made to his friends, which turned into, okay, how are we going to make more wine? So he started buying grapes and juices to sell to his friends, and then it turned into a large business where we actually launched through the Giarusa company. It's a Italian food specialty producer distributor in the Youngstown area. They allowed
Wow.
my father to use their warehouse for the first year or two to use the cooler to make sure that the grapes and juices were at a optimal temperature until we were ready to produce and sell. And my father built the first winery, which is our original and current location, in 2005. So we've really grown significantly from, you know, very humble beginnings to now we're the largest wine producer in the state of Ohio. So
Really?
yes.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So, this is one of the stories. Like, I was a musician, and I fell 3 stories and broke my arm and had to change my whole life. And
Wow.
much like your dad, unfortunate circumstances turned into something else that all of a sudden you're going down a new path,
Yeah.
creating something completely different. So you grew up as, all of a sudden, hey, Marisa, go do this, go do that. And, you're wearing all these kinds of hats. So you kind of learned all the elements about the business as well.
Yes, absolutely. And being around the dinner table when I was younger, listening to the discussions, you learn a lot. And going to Cornell University for 4 years for winemaking also helps round out things as well. So
That probably, and then working in California, I'm sure that had a little bit of a impact as well.
of course, absolutely.
Yeah. So let's see who else is in the room today. Because I really, it's what we do here is the community is really wonderful. Yeah. Oh, Gabriel, thanks for the link. And then also, Kenyatta. Hey, Rob Statham. Do you know Rob? Are you connected with Rob?
I'm not sure. I have to.
Rob is up in Toronto area. He's a sommelier.
Okay.
He does a lot with wine. So it'd be great to have you guys connect. Morning. What's this about? It's Devora. This is about wine and winemaking. And she says, God bless. So, and Gabriel, I'm sure wine is fun to make, but even better experience to make it disappear.
Depends on who you talk to.
Yeah, it depends on who you talk to. Kenyatta, good morning, wonderful friend. You always bring the sunshine to the room. And then Arthur is here. Arthur, hey, Art, how you doing, man? I sent you an email yesterday. I hope you enjoyed it. So, do you personally taste test your product, Marisa?
Well, absolutely. We're huge on quality here, but not taste testing like I think you're insinuating. But yes, only in a professional manner. Lots of quality control here.
Yeah, I would imagine, because from batch to batch, how do you grow or develop the consistency across batches? That's the blending process. So how does that work?
Yeah, we have nothing but consistency here when it comes to our retail brands. Everything is very similar, and we stick to a very regimented process to make sure that the quality is consistent batch to batch. So we don't really have any concern when it comes to that. But when it comes to our higher end barrel aged traditional varietals, yes, we want it to be a little more unique, and we really baby that process to make sure it's exactly the way we want to produce it, but also for our custom crush clients that we're designing the wine to their specifications as well.
Yeah. So do you have any favorites, like special wines that you've created that are like, yes, this is really special to me?
Definitely our 2015 Montepulciano. We used French and American oak for this special vintage, and we blended it to make a very fruit forward yet zesty Montepulciano that is doing very well. It's actually one of our premier products. It has a 22 karat gold label screen printed on the bottle, so it's definitely something really proud of and something I really enjoy.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's fantastic. How many wines are you actually producing currently?
For the retail market, we have 4 core brands that we sell, but we sell other unique varietals that are bistro or to high-end wine shops.
Okay. And do you do like I've experienced in other areas? Do you do in your area? Do you do spring barrel or barrel tasting, or when that's first emerging as a wine, people get to take their first test and maybe buy a case and put it in their cellar for a few years?
Yeah, we definitely do special events, especially for people who join our wine club. But
Uh-huh.
right now, because of COVID, and since we purchased the company during COVID, we haven't done anything like that. But we really look forward to having special events such as what you described when things become safe again. So it'll be
This is
great.
fantastic. I love, it's unfortunate, and I don't know if that could be reproduced virtually like this, but it's just not the same. You get some wine and cheese, and you got a few things, finger foods, and wine, and you're having conversation about the vineyards and the vintage, and the different varietals and things like that. And it's just a fun experience, and I haven't done it for years, and I miss it. So I look forward to when that's available to us again.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that will be fun. Let's see who else is in the house here today. Arcot, he's on the other side of the room. Happy Pirates, happy morning, evening. Marisa Private Eye. Winemaking is amazing here in India also. Yes. All over the world, there's wine in India, Christmas season here. We can make it ourselves, and our family it's very big business, big as a business too. That's fantastic. Howard says, what is the most critical success factor for the next 90 days? That's a great question, Howard.
Definitely being organized when it comes to communicating to our distributor and retail partners. Christmas is around the corner, although it's August, but you like to plan sooner
Mm-hmm.
than later because that's where you do a lot of your sales, and a lot of consumers are looking for something new or exciting to celebrate with their friends and families. So really implementing our Christmas programs to get approved into the retailers, as well as keeping our team organized for harvest as we are starting to bring our first several tons of grapes over from California, I think mid-September. So it's going to be quite the chaotic couple months here.
That's fantastic. Howard actually has a startup around mouthwash and toothpaste in the organic arena, along with CBD, and it's amazing. So I'll be talking to Howard as well later on in the show. I'm trying to get him on the show to talk about his products and service. It'll be kind of fun. Also, Kathy, good morning, Russ. Haha, looking good. Thank you so much, Kathy. I appreciate that. Andrew's in the room. Where's the winery located in Ohio?
Yes, it's located in a small town called Poland, Ohio, a little bit outside of Youngstown on the PA border near Newcastle. You can check us out at www.luvabella.com if you want to check out more information.
Yeah. And all of the links from today's show will be in the podcast and the post after the show. So we'll have that announced. And then Arthur Jones. Woohoo. There we go. Good morning, community. You can see how these go back and forth. Great stories. Thanks, Russ. Joni, thanks for joining us, Joni. Appreciate you. Sending love. Karen says hi. Arcot. Do you have worldwide in India? Is it worldwide or just in Ohio?
Definitely not. We are just focused on appropriate expansion. We are selling in Ohio, West Virginia, lately in Pennsylvania, and we're expanding to Kentucky and Virginia here soon. So stay tuned with those details as I able to share those.
Fantastic. No reason not to have a winery in Ohio that you don't have a box. Love that you don't have a box. So, well, Marisa, this has been fun. This has been wonderful. I'm glad that you helped us understand the wine industry and a little bit more about the RedHead and the Purple Rain. I love your brands. I love the way things look and feel. All the success. I'm wishing you the very best in all your adventures. And so thank you so much for being here. Any last words of advice or legacy ideas or thoughts that you want to share with the community?
Yeah, I think the best piece of advice that I ever received was the answer is always no if you do not ask. So really put yourself out there and really try to curate those relationships to grow your career or business. It's been really great to see how many positive connections I've made over the last several years by just reaching out and showing up. So I think that's
Yeah.
a good nugget to take with you the rest of the week.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate you and thank you so much for being here. And we look forward to future conversations. Maybe when you're doing a new product launch or something, you can come back and join us, give us updates. It'd be fun. And please connect with the pirate community because there are a lot of great people here that are doing some amazing things, and it's all based on a little bit of kindness. So
Absolutely.
we all believe that kindness is cool, smiles are free, and you enjoy the day. Thanks, Marisa. Take care. Bye. Thank you for joining the Pirate Broadcast. If you found this content valuable, please like, comment, and share it across your social media channels. I would love the opportunity to help others grow in their business. The Pirate Syndicate is a platform where you show up, we produce the show. It's that easy. If you want to be seen, be heard, and be talked about, join the Pirate Syndicate today.